Peace and love, family. Peace and love. We're tuning in on another episode. Today's is going to be very informative upon the information in which we are dropping. I know a lot of individuals that do come to me, do seek operating within the private. But before we even talk about, operating in the private, I'm going to go over a couple of different things for you guys in terms of things that you guys got to get situated prior to, coming in and even thinking about operating in the private. Information that's got to be known prior to thinking about operating in the private. And so when it comes to operating in the private as well too, there are certain organizations in that we got to create. And so I'm going to go over one today, and this is going to be breaking down a 508c1a. And so if you guys are new to hearing about a 508c1a, what I want you guys to think about is a 501c, which is typically, the setup that most nonprofits do get set up and assembled as, is that 508c1a or 501c3, excuse me. The 508c1a now is a private nonprofit, and it's private contracting. And so that's what we're going to cover on today's call. I'm going to break down a couple of, the declarations of trust in which we have within my own. This is a copy of, the trust right here, but these are the documents included for the abstract of the trust and the certification of the trust. I'm going to go over our mission statement, and I'm going to go over actually one thing that we'll be doing within the community this year as well too, as a whole. And so before we do go ahead and hop into the information, one thing I ask of all of you guys is to send this out to 5 individuals that can benefit or that have been looking for this type of information in regards to whether it's operating the private or setting up, private entities. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up a private entity today, and that being a 508c1a. I want everybody to go look into it for yourself. But before we hop into the type of assembly and organization, I am going to go over a couple of different things that I do want to make clear, upon the things that we do touch upon when it comes to consumer law. And so a lot of people, are confused upon how we are the creditor. So I got a couple different documents right here that I've, had been studied, and you guys see the highlighted sections. And, I want to show you guys like this. I pulled up things that I've wrote down and was studying 2 years ago. This is just the declaration of, these are all the notes upon the FCRA alone. All right, a lot of y'all haven't even printed it out. We went through, copied it, broke each term down. Now, this is the FCRA right here. If your guys' sheets aren't looking like this, we got to really go through and break it down. Like, this is how I'm able to come on here and, help you guys with your guys' process, and how I've been able to help, all of my clients the past 2 years is from the groundwork that I put in. And so today I'm going to talk about how you funded your guys' loan. All right, any consumer credit transaction, a loan has arose and a finance charge was created. Now, this is anytime your guys' credit card has been ran, and we know in pursuant to 15 USC 1602 that the definition of a credit card is any card, plate, or coupon book used to obtain money or property on services. And so services, such as your lights, your bills, or electricity, the one thing and one card in which they are seeking and asking for is your social security number and your social security card. And so, for clarity, your social security number, your social security card is your credit card. And I want you guys to continue looking through Title 15 USC 1602. And I want you guys to go look up the term open-end credit plan. And so this is going to lead me into how you funded your guys' loan. Right, all debts fall ultimately to the people and to the future generations. When banks are, quote unquote, too big to fail, they're bailed out by government imposing further debt upon the people. So when governments have a debt crisis, right, they devise more ways to tax the people, right? Taxation upon the people. Family, if you guys are just streaming in, all I ask is that you guys drop a like. And if you guys know anybody that could also benefit from this information in terms of operating in the private and certain assemblies we can create within the private, make sure you guys send this out to them and 5 other individuals that can benefit from this as well too. And so this is because the people, are the credit of the nation. We're backed full in faith by credit. This is what I always talk about, how we are the creditors. God's children have never been debtors. We are all God's children, and we are all creditors, and we create and we give life to all these corporations. That's why the moment you turn 18, you guys have gotten approvals, from having no history at all of certain credit cards, just so they can what? Run your guys' credit so that therefore they can, be benefiting from your guys' open-end credit plan, and so that they can get that finance charge that did arise through the consumer credit transaction. So when a bank extends credit for a credit card or a mortgage, it's your credit, not theirs. Banks do not loan their customers deposits or their bank reserves. Instead, they record your credit as a bank liability on the private side of the ledger, which this is hidden, and as a bank asset on the public side of the ledger, which is visible. Just like the mafia, the banks have two sets of books. Right? A common misconception taught in some economic textbooks is that commercial banks function as intermediaries lending their customers deposits whenever the bank makes a loan. This deception, right, hence why in the FDCPA we got in Truth in Lending, they talk a lot about deception. You guys will see they talk about false and misleading representation. They'll talk about, if you've been deceived within Title 15 USC 1601, which is the start of Truth in Lending. They talk about deception a lot because that's what's going on. This deception has been exposed by money reformers advocating sovereign money insurance, supported by considerable evidence, and ultimately confirmed by the administrators of the Bank of England in their first quarterly bulletin of 2014. And this is what they quoted. Whenever a bank makes a loan, it simultaneously creates a matching deposit in the borrower's bank account, thereby creating new money. And this was quoted by the Bank of England in 2014. And because of this instant money creation process, it's been said that banks create money out of quote unquote thin air. How many of you guys have heard that? All right. Where that money doesn't grow on trees, even though it comes from paper, and paper does come from trees. But bank credit has the value in the real economy. So where does the value come from? If the source of that value was the bank, then the bank would not need customers. That's why I always talk about, why do they push so hard to do business with us, the consumer, the creditor, because we're crediting them. Or they would not, do business with you guys and solicit to you guys, advertise to you guys. You guys see commercials, we see, billboards, bulletin boards, all of these things so that they can get access to your guys' credit card and your open-end credit plan. Because if the source of that value was the bank, then the bank would not need customers. Commercial banks could simply create as much credit as they wanted. And if the source of the value was somewhere else in the economy other than the people, then again, the bank would not need customers. Commercial banks would go straight to that source. But commercial banks do need customers in order to issue credit. So what is it that the customers provide to the bank then? Or what are the two things that they always ask you guys for? Y'all let me know, family. If anybody can tell me what are the two things that they ask for. We're also going to be doing a giveaway here at the end of this live. So make sure you guys do stay tuned in till the end of it. And I'm going to announce the giveaway of our business credit ebook and an hour consultation call with me in regards to any step-by-step process. We'll hop on a Zoom call and I'll be able to come on there and help you guys for an hour, which those calls are anywhere typically, depending on the process, from $150 to $200 per hour. You guys will get it cost, free. So the giveaway will be at the end, and I will announce the steps to receive the giveaway, and 3 individuals will receive this giveaway. And so make sure you guys are tuned into the end. We're going to be pretty quick, within here, less than 45 minutes to an hour. So about another 30 more minutes we got going here. Okay. So the two things that they seek and ask for all the time, right? There's only one thing that the loan manager in a commercial bank wants from a customer, and that's their signature. Also, the Social Security card, Social Security number, right? The customer's signature on a promissory note is what creates the credit by providing commercial energy. I'm going to say it again. The customer's signature on a promissory note is what creates the credit by providing commercial energy. Come on. The bank issues the loan in exchange for the customer's valuable promissory note, and the promissory note represents the commercial energy of a living man or woman, which has value. And this energy can be sold and traded. So why does your promissory note have value in the real economy then? All right, so the moment we give them that signature, and that's why, on the back of your card, once you guys get that in the mail, if you guys have ever applied for a credit card online, it'll tell you guys to right away, right when you call them to activate the card, to sign the back of that card. Or they want, and they'll do everything to push for your signature, and also request the wet ink signature from these debt collectors as well too, because they don't have a signature or anything on file in general. That's like our company YBC being sent your guys' debt that you guys had, that you guys went through an agreement with Wells Fargo with. And because you guys didn't pay Wells Fargo then charged it off, which they counted that as a loss. So, already I mentioned, the creation of how and why they're, the social ID, social security card, and why they're, let me read it back here real quick. Let me see. I just read it right now. Okay, right here. When a bank extends credit for a credit card or mortgage, it's your credit, not theirs. Banks do not loan their customers deposit or their bank reserves. Instead, they record your credit as a bank liability on the private side of the ledger. So they're already recording it, as a bank liability on the private side of the ledger. And now, if we don't pay off the monthly payments, they're going to then charge it off. Right? They charge it off with the IRS. They counted that as a loss. So then, therefore, they were able to write that off for taxes. So then they just got paid and benefited again. And then, furthermore, they're going to then sell this, quote unquote, debt to a third party debt collector. And then this third party debt collector, which has no signature, which has no agreement, which was nothing, even included within the agreement. There was nothing talking about these third party debt collectors and the name of this company or anything, and my information being transferred to them as a whole and furnished with them. I never gave them permissible purpose, 15 USC 1681B. And so that's what I was getting into. And so let me see. Money represents an innate human credit as labor and ideas backed by nature. And as such, it is a medium of exchange for valuable goods and services. In essence, money is energy that circulates as currency, right? Hence, bank, if you guys think of a river bank, and what keeps the water flowing, through the river bank is the current, right? Hence currency. We keep this whole system flowing, being charged and discharged. Your credit, right? You can charge energy and you can discharge energy, right? Your credit is only limited by your living energy, your knowledge, and by nature. I'm gonna say it again. Your credit is only limited by, I don't say the government, I don't say any financial institution, I don't say anything. I say your credit is only limited by energy, your guys' knowledge. So that's why I was talking about, and that's why I'm here to educate you guys upon consumer law so that we are able to go out and discharge these debts, and by nature. All right, natural law is supreme above all of these other law, common law, statutory law. Natural law is and has always been, the way of this universe as a whole. So any medium of exchange, okay, therefore you can make a promissory note with your credit. As the originator of your credit, you are the living principal creditor. And any medium of exchange that allows the flow of productive energy between people can function as money. There's no need for money to have an intrinsic value because it is simply an energy token. So that's why even on these calls as a whole, we talk about expressing gratitude. What are you guys grateful for in the now, because in order to attract life's comings, we got to be grateful for the now and what we do have, because a lot of people are seeking in a state of begging and pleading and needing and hoping, when those are low frequencies. And everything is energy, and energy operates on levels of vibration. So in order to attract the things that we desire and to even allow this information to process, we got to raise our levels of vibration and raise our energy. And so money is a community invention that enables trade between various parties without direct barter. Therefore, money is a utility, and to remain useful and stable, it should be issued and limited by the community or nation that uses it. Historically, the supply of money has been limited by using a bimetallic standard. So the supply of money has been limited by the bimetallic standard, in which the monetary unit is defined as equivalent to a certain amount of gold or silver. Unfortunately, whoever controls such commodity money wields extraordinary economic and political power. So we go, always trace the money, follow the money, and you guys will see, whom is always in control, and just get to the root of everything. The corruption of the medium of exchange by commodifications and by private issuance as interest-bearing debt has hijacked the credit, the commercial energy of the people. So I'm going to say this again. The corruption of the medium of exchange by commodification and by private issuance as interest-bearing debt has hijacked the credit, the commercial energy of the people. The international bankers have captured the state's sovereign power over money issuance, and upon bankruptcy, they have installed a debt money system using the legal person. So in 1933, we talk about the Emergency Banking Act, and how in 1933 they seized all of the gold, from the people. They were going door knocking to seize gold from individuals, knocking at people's doors to collect the gold from the people, because that is the only real money. And then in 1936, this is when, this is the person in which they're referring to, this is how this is why they created the fictitious entity, to put all liability upon this fictitious entity. And then they, through time, misconstrued you into thinking that you are this fictitious entity, in which is mirroring you guys, in which you are not completely at all. You are not. If you look at all corporations, the state of Delaware, the state of California, they're all in caps, because corporations are all capitalized. You as a natural person, as a natural person have the ability, yes, to be a natural person or an organization. So let me clarify this as well too. You don't need to change your status. You don't need to become a secured party creditor to discharge these debts. But what you do need to understand is that as a person, you can wear both hats, as a natural person and as the organization. She's factual. That's why our signature is everything to them. 100%. Awesome info. Thank you. 100%. And so, let's see, on the alleged loan contract. Okay, no, I haven't gone to that part yet. So the international bankers have captured the state's sovereign power, money issuance, and upon bankruptcy, they've installed a debt money system using a legal person trust as surety. The birth certificate is a bond issued in the name of a trust/estate. When a living man or woman unwillingly acts in jointer to a trust reassembling their lawful name, they take on liabilities of the trust as a trustee or an accommodation party. In the debt money system, the international bankers have literally become parasitic controllers of the people's credit, having engineered the alleged loan, aka contract, and nowhere in there it's an alleged loan, it's an alleged contract. These are things that they auto-generated, and that's why nowhere in the FDCPA, nowhere in Truth in Lending in the definition section do they define a loan or a contract, because these are fictitious, terms to, deceive you into thinking you are obligated to making these payments, in which they've already been credited upon from the moment that they got access to your credit card and ran your guys' credit. So banks can lend at interest as long as people and governments on behalf of the people are willing to borrow. So when you go into a bank for a loan, you are taking your credit in the form of your promise to pay, evidenced by your signature. On the alleged loan contract, your signature transfers your intellectual property to the bank so that the note can be securitized and hypothecated on the market. Your property includes your power of attorney, which is also surrendered, allowing the bank to access and trade on the birth certificate security bond issued when you were born. The birth certificate bond is issued in the name of a trust slash estate. And this is why you guys see the things that you guys see on YouTube. And that's not something that I do teach, so I'm not even going to mention it. But a living man or woman is a grantor, agent, executor, beneficiary, here to the name, trust slash estate. But when they surrender their power of attorney, they lose their living standing, becoming liable as a trustee slash debtor for the trust slash estate, which is surety of the national corporate debt. 18 USC 8 as well. So that's not mentioned in this writing, but go look up 18 USC 8, and that's stating what I just stated right here within here. So the bank can now access the birth certificate security bond that no one signs for because no one signs for the bank because it is a trust agreement and not a contract. You walk into the door as a creditor and you walk out as a debtor. So I'm going to say it again. The bank can now access the bond because no one signs for the bank because it's a trust agreement. All of this is, everything is simply a trust agreement. It's not a contract. That's why they do define agreements within the FCRA, within truth in lending, etc. You walk into the door as a creditor, extending them credit, hence the term creditor, hence the term credit, the right granted by a creditor. We're granting them the right. Banks do not usually accept accounting principles, GAAP, the standard framework or guidelines for financial accounting. Instead, banks use a double entry system that accounts for both creditor assets and debtor liabilities. When we look at both sides of the ledger, we can see that men and women are creditors, not debtors. And that's right. We loan the bank our credit, and they multiply it in a number of ways. Banks really do extend credit, but it's your credit that is extended for their benefit. You are shown on the side of the ledger that records you as a debtor, while the side of the ledger records you as a creditor is hidden. So how and where it's shown that we're the creditor, once again, that's in their private booking. They have two, forms of books, just like the mafia. Let me get back to it. So they record your credit as a bank liability on the private side of the ledger and as a bank asset on the public side of the ledger. Just like the mafia, the banks have two sides or two books. So the banker elites who designed the system did not want you to know that. On the bank's asset side of the ledger, publicly visible, showing accounts receivable, you are the debtor and the bank is the creditor, while on the bank's liability side of the ledger, privately hidden, showing accounts payable, you are the creditor and the bank is the debtor. Now you know why all debts fall ultimately to the people. You are a creditor, but only when living in your private capacity as a man or a woman and know how to exercise your rights. And so that's what I wanted to touch upon. I'm going to do a whole live stream upon that and really going more in depth with it and how we are the creditor. And I'm thinking about even just doing a video where I can just go in depth with it and drop that for you guys to go through and study. And so let me see. I think I have one more thing. All right. And so anybody that is looking to get access to this book as well, so that I'm reading through, I'll give this away in the giveaway as well. I have a PDF form of it. So I'll give away a copy of this, a copy of my business credit ebook, and then and then a 1 hour consultation call with me in regards to any step-by-step process. And so let's get into it, family. Today's call is, the main topic and I wanted to cover that because, a lot of people ask always, how are we the creditor? How is that the fact? I just broke down how we are the ones who is originating the loan as a whole and originating the credit, in which they're they're able to then extend because we've granted them the right to do such, and then we walk out of there, as a debtor because of these agreements that we've signed. And so that's why we are able to rescind all of these contracts. That's why we are able to discharge them, the right of rescission, which is 15 USC 6 and 35. And so I wanted to bring some clarity and some light upon it and how, and just from a different reading, not anything I'm teaching, not anything that from cornelllaw.edu that you guys are going up and reading, that Congress has passed, but different sightings from other individuals that have been going through this process for some years now as well. Okay, let me see. So now let's look into online. I just looked it up right now. There's a great chart. You guys can all pull it up with me as well too. That does break down the comparison chart of a 5013C versus a 508C1A. And so when it comes to both of them, they are both nonprofits. But the thing on the 508C1A side is that this is non-taxable. It's not for state profit or profit just as a whole. All that you will receive when it comes to this 508C, both as a whole, will be donations though. But there is a lot big differences. And so the first part in terms of just jurisdiction alone is that the 501c3, the federal status, there's a federal status. So they are regulated, federally. And on the 508c1A side, it's a foreign status. So you're not a state resident, just like you would be, if you are a member of a 501c, but you're a church resident and you're not regulated by statute, you're regulated privately. Right? There's a big difference, right? Regulated by statute is regulated by the state, right? The state is a corporation, and that's how they can hold you under their statutory laws. But when you're operating in the private, none of these statutory laws apply to you. And so we got to have entities in our assets also within private organizations. And so there is, I'll show you guys here in the trust in a second, so just be patient. But there's, you guys can transfer over your assets into this 508c1 as well. Status is given and taken away at the discretion of the state. Status is established and surrendered by so that's for a 501c, but status is established and surrendered by informed consent or default. So benefits, in terms of the 508 versus the 501c3, I'm going to start off with the 508. Now on the benefit side, the 508 is charitable, it's educational, or religious purpose for the benefit of the church and public at large. So this is for the people, the public at large and the benefit of the church. Versus the 501c is for a charitable, education, or religious purpose for the benefit of the state and the general public. So just for the state and the general public, right? A certain group within the public. Now, when it comes to, fundraising capabilities, there are limited fundraising capabilities with the 501c, but there are unrestricted fundraising capabilities with the 508c1A. And so this is created as well to the 508c1A under private contracting. They're not authorized to collect or pay any secular government taxes because it is, once again, tax exempt. You cannot tax, a church, hence why the Kardashians have gone out and assembled multiple different church, organizations. And that's because the money in which they're generating, they're donating. And I want you all to look up, is it possible, is it lawful to donate to your own church, your own ministry? 100% it is. And or your own nonprofit, you're able to do so. And, as they're doing so, it's like, this is tax exempt money. You can't tax money that you've donated to, a private, non-taxable religious assembly. So immunities, relief from duty. So I'm going to start off with the 508c1A again. Burden of proof on the IRS or other agencies to disprove the status, and no property tax is assessed if owned by and used exclusively for the organization. So you can't taxes. Churches are not taxed. There's no property tax, if it's assembled as a 508c1A. And so when you guys are going into, them, ask the type of assembly in which it is. Is it a 501, C3, or is it a 508c1A? And so those are the main differences in terms of immunities, privileges, jurisdiction, and just benefits as a whole. Status is established and surrendered by informed consent or default when skin. So status is given and taken away at the discretion of the state. So the state has their hands on your assembly when you guys set up a 501c3. Now, when you guys set up a 508c1a, they don't got their hands on it at all. And so this is where the power comes with having that 508c1a, and being able to operate, just in their game as a whole, but privately, to where they can't come and mess with you guys. So I got a couple different things that I'm going to break down within here. This is a copy of my trust. I do have 3 copies. So I'm going to break down first and foremost the certification of the trust. So this certification of trust was created on November 11th of 2022, 11/11/2022. If you know, you know. The trust has been legally created as an irrevocable, nonprofit charitable trust. All right, family, if you guys are just coming in, I would highly, highly advise, that you guys send this live out to, 3 to 5 individuals that are looking to set up a nonprofit. The EIN that we get for the 508, is it exempt? Yes. So what you guys are going to do, I'm glad you asked that, Dave. I'll get into that at the end, so stay tuned. There is actually a giveaway at the end as well, too. So if you guys are tuned in, I would advise you guys do stay. We're not going to be here no longer than 30 more minutes, family. And so let's see. All rights and titles of the assets and income of this trust are vested solely in the board of trustees. We, Antonio Nicolas Cuevas, period, TTTEE, and my other trustee, certify that we are the trustees of a trust entitled Billionaires Club Foundation. So I'm going to go over our first event that we're actually going to be throwing here within the next month. A charitable trust created by the Declaration of Trust, dated November 11th of 2022. So we undersign as the current acting trustee and declare and certify to this financial institution. So I'm going to show you guys, a bank that I have in terms of with my 508c1a, and that it is possible to go through and set up with my 98 number, with my private EIN number, with my foreign EIN number, a bank account with this in the documents in which we do have, for the 508c1a setup. And so I'm going to go through just like 3 to 5 of them. So, there's a total of 12 as a whole. And I'll go through 2 at the beginning and 2 at the end. So we declare that we have full authority under the above referenced trust to sign on behalf of the trust and to open and close accounts, perform deposits, withdraw, and transfer funds on the behalf of the trust. Pursuant to the terms of the trust, the trustee has the power to contract for banking and other financial services and to transfer, purchase, and sell financial assets and investments, including securities. All information contained in the certificate is true and correct, and you, as a third party conducting business with the trustee, may rely on this information until you receive written notice of any changes signed by the trustee. And then the last one, there's 12 total, but I just skimmed through or read through 4 of them. This is the 4th one. This organizational document and all trust business will be kept private, protected by the Privacy Act of 1974. Title 5, USC 552A. So I'm going to say it again. Title 5, USC, go look this one up right now. Let's look it up while we're here. 5 USC 552. Then it's A. Go through and read it. It says public information, agencies, rules, opinions, orders, record, and proceeding. And so it says the 4th and 5th Amendments of the Constitution of the United States of America, the common law privacy rights available in the United States of America and every other applicable jurisdiction. We declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America that the foregoing is true and correct. Then we get it notarized by Notary Public. A couple other things that we got notarized. And then I'm going to go over now another. So that was a certification of the trust. Now I'm going to go over the declaration of trust, just a little bit of it, and a couple things that we do have that we do break down within it as well too. So I'm going to go over the acceptance of property. I'm going to go over the distribution of property. I'm going to go over some things in terms of banking, and what they are seeking in terms of banking when getting your account set up. And then in terms of on the mob, I'll go more in depth and read a little bit more for all of my mob members. So if you guys are not in the mob, I do highly advise, because I will go through and read this for everybody that is in the mob, and that will be dropped within the next couple of days. Let me close this tab. Okay, camera. And so the declaration of trust. So this is the organization of the trust. The donor authorizes and empowers the trustee to form and organize a nonprofit organization limited to the uses and purposes provided in this declaration of trust. Such trust is to be organized under the laws of any state, or if chosen under the laws of the United States, as it may be determined by the trustees. The organized trust has the power to administer and control the affairs and property, and to carry out the uses, objects, and purposes of this trust. Upon the creation and organization of such, the trustees are authorized and empowered to convey, transfer, and deliver to such all the property and assets to which this may be or become entitled. The charter, bylaws, and other provisions for this organization and management of such and its affairs and property shall be such as trustees shall determine, consistent with the provisions of this section. Then let me go into a couple other more. Let's see. Just let me break down some of the things that we do have within. We got the trustee powers. We got the remuneration, and then we got the discretionary powers and a breakdown of that. We got the trustee's capacity. We got the assurance of the trust, and the notice to third parties. So this is declaration and creation of the trust. So all of the trust funds are invested in the securities of one company. No principal or income, however, shall be loaned directly or indirectly to any trustee or to anyone else, corporate or otherwise, who has any time to contribute to this trust, nor accepted based on an adequate interest charge and with adequate security. So let's go over the trustee's capacity. The trustee powers are exercisably solely in the fiduciary capacity, consistent with and in furtherance of the charitable purpose of this trust as specified herein and not authorized. Notice to third parties. Notice is hereby given to all person, companies, or corporations extending credit to, contracting with, or claims against the organization or its trustee, that they must look only to the funds and property of the organizations for payment or settlement for their damages, accounts receivable, or claims. Trustees, officers, or agents of this organization are not personally liable for the organization's obligations. That's taking all obligation off you, the natural person. So now within here, the witness whereof the creator and trustee execute this contract and declaration in recognition of the delivery and acceptance of the property under the penalty of perjury and to the laws of the de jure United States of America, that the foregoing is accurate, correct, and complete to the best of my belief and informed knowledge. And further, and deponent saith not I now unalienable rights, and I'm going to go over the unalienable rights at the end for you guys as well too, and what are you guys' unalienable rights within the Constitution of the United States of America, and without prejudice, and how one of them is your freedom to religion, and you guys have the ability to create a religious assembly. And remember, a religion is simply just a belief within something, without prejudice to any of those rights, in compliance with UCC 1-308, which is what we should be autographing anytime we put down our signature, right? This agreement is entered into and executed willingly, knowingly, and voluntarily by each party in good faith, and shall endeavor to execute and promises, terms, and conditions herein with the diligence in the terms and in the best interest of the other party, May 26th of 2022 AD. And so, family, this is, an assembly. So these are right here. This is once again a copy of my documents. So this is where we would put the list of all of our assets is within here, right? This is where we would put it right here. Listed assets belonging to Billionaires Club. We got a couple more pages as well too. Boom. And remember, this is just our copy. And boom. So let's see. So this is you also want to have minutes of the initial trustee meeting. That's going to be much needed as well too. You're also going to want to have some banking resolution as well too. So this is what they do ask for in terms of when you do get your bank set up is the banking resolution. And it states within here, I'll read this out to you guys. Resolved that Antonio Nicolas Cuevas period, being the managing directors of this trust was/is herein fully authorized by the board of the trustees to select and make an application to any bank or financial institution for the purpose of establishing one or more check and or savings account in the name of this trust. Further, the managing director and his or his/her designee or other officers or agents of this trust as identified below is/are authorized to make deposits and withdrawals, write checks, and maintain such accounts without further action of the board of trustees. Further, the bank or financial institution is hereby authorized to pay out the funds of this trust as directed by the authorized signatories without further authorization from the boards of trustees, whether such directives call for disbursement in cash to bear or the order of any third party. Further, the suggested title for this account is the name of the corporation. And so this is the banking resolution. So when I went in to go bank with PNC, this is one of the things in which they did seek and ask for. I'm going to cover your questions here in a second. Before I do, I'm going to go get my bank card for you guys to show you guys that, yes, I do have a bank with PNC for my 508c1. All right, and bear with me. I'll be right back. Here, I'll keep going here. And so I just showed you guys the banking resolution that I had with PNC. There is, certain words that you guys do got to mention to them in terms of the type of account which you guys are looking to get set up with them. It's an unincorporated association. I'll give it to y'all here. You want to let them know you're looking to set up an unincorporated association. That right there, it took me, I assembled this in November. I want y'all to understand this. I didn't get this bank set up because I went to multiple banks that didn't know the process of setting this up, was honestly made me lose belief within the 508c1a. I was like, yo, this ain't even real. I'm like, what are people out here teaching? I'm like, yo, I can't even get a bank account set up with my 508c1a. And so I went through multiple different banks that didn't know the process of doing such, but it was just on my end. I wasn't telling them the proper account to set up. It's an unincorporated association that you guys want to go through with them and let them know and put them on notice. And so right here, PNC, right, we see Billionaires Club Foundation, right? Billionaires Club Foundation. And so I want to go over and cover real quick as well too while we're here. So that's the banking resolution. That is one thing that they do ask for. And then they do ask for the minutes of meetings of the assembly of the, what is it? Let me tell you guys the exact name. The initial minutes of the initial meeting. They do ask for this as well too. They ask for the addendum to the minutes of the initial meeting. The minutes of the initial trustee meeting. Yes, so those are the documents that they will seek, definitely that banking resolution. And so the mission statement within Billionaires Club Foundation is to liberate billions of lives by guiding individuals to align with their highest self and gain competence consciousness over their reality. Right, with inner knowing and awareness of the Hermetic principles, that's why I always reference the Kabbalion and going through and understanding the teachings of the Kabbalion, understanding the teachings of the Emerald Tablets. If y'all ain't heard me say that, that's why I thought about it. I was like, are y'all ready for that? Or what came first, the chicken or the egg? And so a lot of you guys are so stuck on these stories that came way after these tablets and the Egyptian Book of the Dead and esoteric teachings. And so with inner knowing and awareness, and within them, they do break down natural law. And, this is literally, a guide, for law as a whole. Same thing with the Bible. All these are guides in terms of, for law and just knowing whom you are and, what you are obligated to doing and not obligated doing. So with inner knowing and awareness of the Hermetic principles and esoteric teachings of our ancestors and those that came before us, we will be able to empower ourselves, allowing us to empower billions of lives around the world. In order to heal the world, one must first heal thyself. And it all starts with one. And so, family, that's why I always talk about, showing up for self, but pouring into self and taking that trip inwardly. Because, yes, I know a lot of you guys want to go out and help so many people, your friends, your family, so many that are, being affected from the whole system as a whole, the credit system. But first you gotta heal and help thyself before you can help, go out and heal and help others as well too. Because if you aren't healed, if you aren't helped, you cannot go out and help others. That's why you guys haven't seen me for the past, 2-3 years, because I've been taking care of myself, my peoples, my communities, getting the results, making sure what it is that I am learning is actually working. And so now I've gone to the point where I've got multiple success stories to where I can come on here and teach the masses. And that's what we're doing. And I know that they don't want, this information to come out there, but we are the revolt. We are the ones who are going to change the future of not only, the lifetime in which we're living in, but the next generations. That's why we have children's ebooks coming on consumer law, because we're not going to be the ones maybe even to see the change within society, but the next generation definitely will be, if not their kids or their kids' kids, and this will be instilled within them, and they're way ahead of the trend, and where we were and are just as a whole. And so that's why I want to be able to come through and break it down to anybody and everybody, because that's where I believe the power comes. And so that's our mission statement here at Billionaires Club. We are actually hosting our first nonprofit, charity event, and that will entail, right? If y'all don't know, now y'all know. Credit Gotti did used to play college football as well too, and that will entail Turkey Bowl game, and where we're going to be accepting donations. But for this holiday season, we're actually going to be going out, and we're going to have barbers. All right, we're going to have the footage going and everything as well too. We'll have the drone out there, but we're going to have barbers, and we're going to be giving a lot, away just in general for this holiday season to all of the homeless people in Phoenix, as well as the mental health community as well too, and mental health homes and places and where they have, individuals in which are there. So our goal is to raise, $10,000 to go out this year and give all of that money back to the homeless and back to the mental health, hospitals and, places that they have, and to give to them this holiday season just as a whole, and raise awareness that they're not alone in whatever it is, in whatever part of their journey that they are in. And most people that are homeless have and are suffering from mental health. And so, that's a big, a big thing in my life that I want to go out and make sure is done. And so within Billionaires Club Foundation, we are going to start this year in the community and giving back to the community. And we're going to start with our Turkey Bowl game, and where, we're going to raise the money for such. I'm going to have a couple key individuals, that will be behind it as well too, that are in the NFL as well too. So stay tuned to that, and everything just as a whole. So I'm excited to launch it, and for you guys to be there. So if anybody is in the Phoenix area, definitely reach out to me so that we can get you guys involved in this charity event as well too. So let me go over the questions really quick, and then we'll get into the giveaway. Who here is ready for the giveaway? Drop a 333 if you're, and I said 333, not a 333, right? All threes. Drop a 333 if you are putting out in the universe and affirming that you are going to be the one to win this giveaway. I'm going to select 3 individuals, right? 3 individuals. Let me see. I got it somewhere. Okay. So notice how there's already more than 3 people that have commented 333. So when the steps for the giveaway are given, you guys got to be the first people to do the 3 steps that I'm going to give to you guys in regards to winning this giveaway. They're very simple as well too. You guys can go look up, my bio as well too, at Antonio Cuevas Football. I played strong safety at the University of Mary. Antonio Cuevas Football. Just look up. Gotti, thanks for the great content. I have one question. I sent an online certified mail to the annual credit report to get my free credit report. I had my Social Security and driver's license copy. Should I worry about USPS handling them online? Or that was another question. So what was the question within that? PK? And of course, the content you guys have seen is nothing compared to what it's about to be. We're getting some lights. We're getting, the backdrop, the Credit Gotti in the back. We're gonna have Billionaires Club in the back as well too. Neon lights with it. We're getting the whole studio set up and worked on, as we're speaking. So stay tuned, family. The EIN that we get for the 508. So yes, to answer that question, so we want to go to, so look up the Philadelphia office for EIN. I have it in my phone. Let me see. In my phone. 1 second. All right. Okay, y'all ready for the IRS Philadelphia's office, which is how you guys can acquire that foreign EIN. And same thing on the personal side. I do have a foreign EIN as well too for Antonio Cuevas. all caps name. I created one for such so that I'm not even gonna get into that today, but just know you can call and get this EIN as well too and the form that they asked for is I was gonna say SF-181 form, but that's not it. The EIN application form. What is that called again? SS4 form. And so look up SS4 form. And then these are the questions they'll ask you guys when you call them. Let them know, you're on the road, you're not able to send it out, whatever it may be. You're looking to get the EIN on that phone call, or we're looking to get the EIN on that phone call. And there is a certain way in filling out the SS4 form. So if you guys are looking to properly acquire the 98 number for your personal name and or for the 508c1a, I can help you guys in regards to such in the process. But there is a certain way in getting it set up. Reasons for applying that you do want to put, which are specific to getting this set up. And then once again, it states even here, if the corporation name the state, if a corporation name the state or a foreign country. So you got to know, certain countries or which country you are going to be doing business in. And just certain, little things that do make a big difference when it comes to applying for this EIN number. So the number for them is 267, right? 267 941. I'm gonna say it again. 267 941 1099. So 267 941 1099. And that is the number for the IRS Philadelphia's, address. If you have a 98 number that hasn't been used, can I use it if the country was in Africa? Yes, you would be able to. You definitely want to know how, and you also want to, remember and go back and watch the video that I did with my business partner Taquan X on how to stop using how to stop using the Social Security number, or how to build credit without the Social Security number. One of those. It was about a week ago. All right. So we see 16 individuals are ready for this giveaway because y'all are going to be able to get access to it first. I will, for 30 minutes, give this, give individuals a chance as well to acquire and win the giveaway. So I'm gonna give them 30 minutes. Anybody that did miss it, comment in the comment section, skip to the end for a giveaway. Giveaways going out fast. So that's the perks of being here on the live as well too. I'm gonna start doing a giveaway every Sunday. Right? If y'all would like to see a giveaway, and if y'all can commit to being here every Sunday, y'all let me know. And so I wrote down some things the things in which I wanted y'all to do. Let me see. I wrote it somewhere. I don't know where I wrote it though. But above all else, I do know what I'm going to drop in general. So I am going to be dropping a video. If you guys do not follow me yet, now is the time to do such on Instagram. Reach out to me on all social media platforms at Credit Gotti, whether that's LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. It does not matter. You guys can find my page and my following on and at Credit Gotti. We are going to be adding all of the social media links as well too into our description and our bio. So if you guys don't and are not in any of our communities outside of YouTube, make sure you guys definitely are engaged. Our threads, at Credit Gotti. We got X, the old Twitter. So we got all social media platforms and where we do drop information in regards to consumer law and all of our teachings, family. So make sure you guys are tuned in to all platforms. But above all else, on today's giveaway, I'm going to be giving a giveaway for 2-3 individuals. I'm about to make a post at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So here in 27 minutes, I'm going to be dropping a video. And for those that reshare this video, that turn on your post notifications. So resharing it as in on your story and with 5 individuals. So you got to screenshot the fact that you've shared this with 5 individuals, and then also resharing it on your story as well too. So resharing it, or we're sharing it. Step 1. All right, we're sharing it. Step 1. Who can commit to that? Is that too much to ask for? I'm not going to be selling anything on this post. It's going to be informing people upon the movement that we are creating here. So if you guys are getting value, let's leverage our social media to get other people informed on the movement that we are creating, because alone I can go fast, alone you can go fast, but together collectively we can go a lot further. Imagine you guys and the closest people to you guys learning this information as well too. Granted, it's not always going to happen as such, but just imagine that. And there will be those select individuals in which you guys, wouldn't even think of, that will reach out to you in regards to this information, especially as they see you, on this information, because so many people are dealing with the same things, but they're just, too shy to step out and ask for help, or too much pride to ask for help. And so millions of consumers are dealing from the same things, in which we're teaching here on the channel on how to get removed and discharge themselves. Not a help of any credit company. That's what we want to eliminate, is any middleman. We don't need the middleman. The goal, Nipsey Hussle always said, is to exit out the middleman. So step 1, share on your guys' stories. We're sharing it on our stories, and we're sharing this with 5 people as well too. I want you guys to comment something that you guys have learned from the videos as a whole. What have you guys learned from watching, my channel? Drop, something that you guys are grateful for. Just drop a comment as a whole of something you've learned, and also express gratitude through it. I already did that as soon as I tuned in. That's love. I appreciate it. And the fact that those are just doing that off the top, like that's love. And, that's how we're going to grow collectively. That's how we're all going to, TransUnion getting hit with 23 million. That's nothing compared to the lawsuits in which they should be getting hit with. And as we're all going through and exercising, they'll be getting hit with a lot more lawsuits and bigger lawsuits at that, because 23 million is nothing compared to the amounts of money in which they are revenuing. Thank you. That's love. That's love 100%. And I appreciate you seeing that, my reflection. And so sharing it, on your story, and then with 5 people, drop a screenshot that you've shared it with the 5 people, comment what you guys have learned from my channel. And then step number 3 is to turn on my post notifications for Instagram as well. So turn on the post notifications, because I've noticed Instagram has done a lot of shadow banning, especially when you are teaching this type of information. So make sure you guys don't miss out. Make sure you guys are informed and tuned in with everything that we do have going. So the post is going to be live in 23 minutes. So make sure you guys do, tune in and, do the 3 steps to win the giveaway. I will announce the giveaway on tomorrow's live. And so, you guys have, I'm feeling generous as well too. So I may even do more than just 3 people as a whole, so just for showing the love, y'all show love. Like I said, I'm gonna always show a lot more love. Y'all, give, I'm gonna always give more. Y'all put in the work, I'm gonna always outwork y'all. It's just what it is. And unless you prove otherwise, I would love to see such. I'm open to receiving. I'm not blocking it at all. But I just know what I'm bringing to the table and what I'm providing for you guys. And I know the least we all can do is, get the word out, family. We share so many crazy things on a day-to-day basis. Yo, have you heard of the new this, the new movie of this? Have you heard of the new you name it? Why aren't we sharing information that can help our people? Why aren't we sharing information that can help get people out of the situation they're in into a better situation? So let's start changing the things that we are sharing and just talking about on a regular, conversation as a whole. And once again, for all of my mob YouTube family members, I am going to drop the breakdown of the 508 C1A more in depth for you guys. But for anybody that's in my personal mentorship, so Credit Guides one-on-one personal mentorship, the funnels and the websites all will be dropped within the next 24 hours. I truly do appreciate all of you guys' patience, and we are finally finalizing and just about done. Just need to publicize it. And so I do appreciate all the patience on your guys' end. So the Credit Guide website and one-on-one mentorship will be launched and revamped within the next 24 hours. and there will be a qualification in order to even qualify for my personal mentorship. So I'm not just taking on anybody anymore. You do got to qualify to even do business and receive access to me and my private community as well too, outside of any of these social media platforms. So I'm excited, I'm blessed, I'm grateful, as all of you guys as well too. I got a video today that I'm about to drop for you guys that I believe is going to be great in terms of a workout that I did this morning that does apply to the teachings that I teach, in terms of, sticking the course, staying the path, not looking to reinvent the wheel, but, understanding that people have already been where you guys are looking to get. So don't reinvent the wheel, seek mentorship, because mentorship is a time machine, and seek guidance above all else. You can never get too big for the small things, and you can always learn from anybody and everybody, but also at the same time, be selective of the information in which you do take in regards to certain information. Granted, yes, you can learn from anybody and everybody, but that doesn't mean you can learn from anybody and everybody in regards to everything. But there is something in which you can learn from them, and that may be, not to take the things that they say too serious. But there's always a learning lesson within something, and it doesn't always pertain to the thing in which you're looking to learn, but there is something to learn when meeting and speaking with any and everybody, family. So I want to clarify that. If you have a 90, okay. I already did that as soon as okay. I appreciate that as love, 100%. My guy, Dave, I learned to go deeper reading the laws, the code. I can help a lot of people after I learned this. I'm grateful. Thank you, brother, for dropping that here. I actually want you guys to drop this on my Instagram post, and this will be on my Instagram in 20 minutes, family, at 9 o'clock on the dot. I've had a 9-8 number for going on 3 years now, but I never studied how to operate, and here I am. Alignment, brother. We're going to end it there, y'all. Mike Muhammad, become a part of the mob. I promise you, you will not regret it. It's $25 of the best 25 you'll ever spend. It's definitely undervalued for what you guys are providing, for what I am providing to you guys within the membership level. And we're just getting started on the membership level. Like, I'm still uploading videos daily, weekly. And so stay tuned to that. We're still not even to the current or even the information that I was given to my mentorship January 1st of 2023. We're still in 2022 with the information that we are teaching in regards to my mentorship. So you guys are, a year, 2 years, just about behind in terms of the information on the public channel. Granted, coming in here and, being able to get involved with any of our other, I don't even know what they're called, but the membership levels, within the YouTube. This will help you guys get up to speed and up to par to, more recent information. And then, of course, if you guys are looking to get, hip with current day information that I am teaching and, applying now and currently, I would plug in with my one-on-one mentorship with Credit Gotti and qualify for it. But not everybody will be accepted. This is for anybody, but this is not for everybody. With that, being said, go follow the Instagram page at Not For Everybody as well too. That's another one of mine and my brother's businesses, actually, and where we train kids as well too. As I mentioned, I was a college athlete, so I know a little thing or two when it comes to, sports and training. I've done a couple cool things in regards to my time on the court and on the field. And then my brother himself was a national champion as well too in college. And so we got a little resume and we got information just as a whole that can help so many people, especially with how these kids are being trained nowadays. It's kind of sad to see a lot of injuries that could be literally resisted if people train proper. I'll go follow the page. That was just, as we just let y'all know, the mentorship is for it's for anybody, but it's not for everybody. Not everybody will qualify. Not everybody, has what it takes to come in and, really apply this information and, get the results, out of it. Because it's not just consumer law. We're developing mentally, physically, spiritually, on all aspects. We're developing and growing. And if you're not committed and open to all areas of development, the mentorship is not for you. My environment is everything. And so whom I'm speaking with on a day-to-day basis is everything. So if y'all aren't getting right in all of your areas, there's nothing I can do for you guys, truthfully, other than here on the YouTube. Y'all can come learn, with the mob for $25 at our top level membership and get access to all of the membership levels. So I appreciate everybody. I'm about to go make this post right now. That's going to post in the next 15 minutes. So let's go take action and let's see who's going to be the giveaway winners tomorrow on the live. Make sure if you guys are not already, tune into the Discord. I'm going to drop the link real quick to leave, and I'll see you all at the top as always, because the bottom, y'all know, man, is way too crowded. Peace, love, light, and eternity. Credit Gotti. Peace out.